Internet. My name is Hazel from Hazelnuttygames. It is Saturday. It's Saturday when you're seeing this, and it means it is vlog time. So this week we had a PTR come up. The patch 6.2 PTR is now live. The patch notes are now up. Everybody has poured through them and exclaimed and cried and freaked out, and, you know, all the normal stuff that goes with patch notes coming out, and that's been something kind of special. I am on the PTR and I'm going to make some videos relevant to it. I'm going to start with the pet battle stuff because there's quite a few new pieces of pet battle content, which I'm very excited about. I won't get too much into it now because I'm going to make some videos, but gist of it is that there are new pets on a vendor in your garrison. There's new wild pets in Tanan Jungle. There's some miscellaneous pets you can get in the Tanan Jungle area. There's new Darkmoon Fair pets, and there is... what else? One more thing. Oh, new legendary pet tamers, or legendary pets that have teams. There's some new legendary pet encounters that are going to be happening in Tanan Jungle. It sounds like they may be randomized, so I'll be taking a look at that. And I'm just overall very excited. The short-term gist that you should take from this is save your pet charms. The vendor that they're adding to the garrison sells, I think it's almost 5 different pets, 4 or 5 different pets available for pet charms ranging between 50 and 100 charms per pet. And there are also some toys, some pet-related toys for your toy box that will go for up to 500 pet charms. So get saving if you're into that kind of thing. And that was that. In my raiding life, we're still 9 of 10 heroic. We have not killed heroic Blackhand yet. We're having some roster problems, specifically healer attendance difficulties. We had a couple of healers, 2 of our healers actually decide they want to take a break from the game, so we're kind of working around our people. I may end up switching to healing full-time. I've been a Shadow Priest with them for Heimel and Blackrock Foundry, but I always kind of wanted to be a healing priest, and I don't know. I've had some good time as Shadow, and I'm going to consider switching over to healing full-time if that's what they want me to do. And maybe try to get a little bit better at that, because I'm a pretty good healer. I'm alright. I got like my mouse over stuff set up. I know what all my spells do, but I'm not like as good as I could be. There's still some things that I could work on if I really wanted to be like the very best. So thinking about switching. I'd have to learn how to be a Dis Priest. I've only ever really healed as a Holy Priest. For some reason, over the 5 years that I've played various types of priests, I've never really messed with Dis all that much. It's weird. What else? The Game of Thrones season started. And there was also some leaks. There were some episode leaks. The first 4 episodes actually got leaked online. I have made the conscious decision to not watch any of the leaked episodes that have not been officially aired. I want to participate in online discussion about the episodes as they come out, and I certainly don't want to have to wait another whole month before I get new Game of Thrones content by binging through it right now. So I am just watching them as they come out. I am as diligently as I can avoiding spoilers. It's hard on the internet, but I've already read all the books anyways, so they would just be spoiling show-only twists and turns, which we've mostly sort of kind of gleaned from the trailers anyways, but still, I'm trying to avoid spoilers. I'm very excited about the show. I thought it had a very good first episode, setting up some really interesting things, and I'm very excited to see the direction that they take the show, so that has been, it's filling my Walking Dead void. I finished the second Walking Dead compendium, so now I'm really stuck for content unless I actually start springing money for, to buy some of the content, buy some of the more recent Walking Dead comics digitally for myself. If I don't do that, then I'm just gonna have to dive right back into the Game of Thrones stuff, because I have nothing else to occupy my sad little mind. So that's Game of Thrones. My cat. I love my cat. My cat has decided or discovered that she enjoys swatting, and I mean, she's a cat. She enjoys swatting at a lot of things, but she unfortunately discovered that she enjoys swatting at little baby pepper plants, and we had a baby pepper plant emergency that required some emergency repotting, and I'm really hoping, I've got them on the windowsill right now because it's like really sunny behind there. I'm really hoping that I can pull them through because I only have one of each variety of peppers that she uprooted. So I'm hoping that they'll be okay. I think they will, and I think that when they grow up, from all of this adversity, they're going to be that much more badass in their pepper plantness, so it's been okay. And I think I don't remember if I talked about this on stream or last week's vlog, but I gave away a couple of my extras. I had a couple of duplicate pepper plants, and I gave away for free online a couple, like pretty much all of my duplicates except for one. I still have 2 Scotch bonnet peppers, but everything else I only have 1 of now, because I have too many varieties of peppers to have duplicates. I have a teeny tiny balcony, and right now all of my plants are like on my windowsill, so I had too many, and I've cut it down. And yeah, I should take some more pictures. I haven't updated the Tumblr with pepper pictures in a while. I should do that. Also this week, so I was talking either last week or 2 weeks ago about my new macros, my new targeting macros for Arena, and those have been working really well. I'm still getting used to them, especially when I did some threes last night. And in emergency situations when I really need to heal a guy right now, it's very hard for me to try and remember which way I need to roll my mouse wheel to get to the guy, as opposed to just mouse over healing him, which I know for sure is going to work. So I'm still trying to move away from mouse over healing, which I know is not as efficient. It's a work in progress. Something I didn't anticipate happening. So I have my mouse wheel targeting on my Resto Druid. Mouse wheel up should target party 1, mouse wheel down should target party 2, and then clicking the mouse wheel should target me. And it works great, except that if I mouse wheel up and I do it too voraciously, and I mouse wheel up more than once, it targeted my mage's water elemental pet, and that's not really a thing I wanted to do. It caused a couple panicky moments, so I don't really know what's up with that. But that's all been fine. The point of the story that I was actually getting around to was I was working out the macros on my hunter now, and the targeting macros, those are all fine. That's actually really easy to set up. The problem I had was I wanted to make a couple of basic macros for Spiritmen, Master's Call, and Roar of Sacrifice, just friendly spells for hunter, and all I wanted was to have one button that I could press it would cast it on me. I could shift press it and would cast it on party 1, and alt press it for party 2. Basically just a modifier macro that lets me cast it on any of my party mates without having to target them, so that I wouldn't have to set up friendly targeting in addition to enemy targeting on a damaging character. So I did that. And I could not, for the life of me, figure out why these macros weren't working. I was queuing skirmish after skirmish after skirmish, because every time I would adjust my macro, I'd have to queue a skirmish, troubleshoot it to see if it was actually working. And then I rewrote it and I rewrote it and I rewrote it and I googled and I read I read macro conditional script school. It was very crazy, and I went through a whole bunch of different possibilities as to why it wasn't working. For a while, I thought it was actually the G13 game board, because there was some weird forum threads about this thing not respecting shift macro hotkeys when you have both of the buttons on this, not being able to handle 2 buttons at once. And then I was looking in the software, they have their own macro thing, and then I was wondering if it was against terms of service. But anyways, the reason why my shift macro wasn't working was that the buttons, the shift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and shift F1 through 5, were already bound to my default UI, and I had totally forgotten to check to see if those were already bound to some obscure function that I've never used in my whole life, and they were. And then I unbound them and everything worked just fine. So I don't need to get rid of my game board, I don't need to get a new keyboard and learn how to use that, I don't need to move all my buttons around, I just needed to stop being a dumbass. So lesson learned, if you're having a macro problem, you don't know why it doesn't work, check to make sure that the button that you're binding it to doesn't already do something else. So we actually have a couple of questions. Sinister Smile wants to know, as fast as you talk during a stream, do you think you can rap? I wish. It's a very silly thing, and I've lately been listening to a lot of rap music, and I've been watching some streamers that will sometimes rap during their streams, and I think it's the coolest darn thing. And in recent months, instead of singing in the shower, I have been attempting to rap in the shower, and I've come to realize while doing that I can't. It's not in me. I could probably develop it, and I'm gonna keep trying. But you know how people talk about having flow? They got mad flow. These dudes got sick dope flow. I have no flow. I have the flow of tar trying to make its way through a 4-year-old Brita filter. There is no flow there. So the answer is no, I cannot rap as fast as I talk on stream. I can't even rap slowly, but it's not for lack of trying. And one day, I'm going to drop some sick rhymes on you, sick bars, rhyming bars. See, that just sounds like a snack. I don't know. Some Game of Thrones related questions. Nightmare on Helm Street wants to know, Hazel, is your favorite Game of Thrones character Stannis? He's up there. He's a pretty good character, but if I actually had to look at all of the Game of Thrones, and I'm talking book characters as well, if I had them all in a spreadsheet, and I had to pick one of them not as who I'd want to be best friends with, not as who I'd want to go to a sleepover with, or who I want to be king or anything, but just as my favorite character that I like reading about and making theories about, I would have to say Littlefinger. Littlefinger is the most interesting character to me. I always enjoy trying to figure out what he's up to, and I think Aidan Gillen does a fantastic job of portraying him in the show, so I'm gonna go with him as my favorite. There's 19 different close second spots. I love a lot of characters. There's not very many characters that I don't like. But yes, Littlefinger's my favorite character. Stannis is up there though. Stannis is the man, we can't deny that. All right, here's another one. Have you read Game of Thrones? And what do you think about the series ending before the book, and that they won't be doing the official written ending, as George R. R. Martin won't have anything to do with the series writing anymore? So, couple parts to that question. Have I read Game of Thrones? Yes, I've read all 5 of the published A Song of Ice and Fire books. I have read the 3 prequel novellas. I have not read The Princess and the Queen yet because I haven't managed to find it. And I have not read any of the released chapters from The Winds of Winter. I really want to just sit down and read that as a book when it comes out. So far I've stayed away from the Mercy and the more recent released Sansa chapter. So I haven't read the new preview chapters, but I've read the first 5 books pretty extensively, and I am the world's biggest lurker on the A Song of Ice and Fire subreddit because I just love reading all the wacky theories that they come up with on there. It's toned down a little bit because there's really nothing left to talk about. But yes, I've read all the books. What do I think about the series ending before the books, and that they won't be doing the official written ending? So the official written ending is still a bit up in the air because everybody, or not everybody knows, but it's fairly accepted that when the series first started, George sat down with D&D, or David and DB, I don't remember their names, but the showrunners, and sort of went over the rough notes for how his story is planned to go. That doesn't mean it's not going to change, but at that time, he had like a rough storyboarded out kind of ending in mind for the book, so he may or may not adjust, but he had something in mind, and he told the showrunners about it, and they can do with that what they will. So it's not guaranteed that the show won't end like the books. I think they're probably going to wind their way to the same general place. I think they'll get there in very, very different paths. But it may or may not have the same ending. We don't know for sure that it won't yet, even though you're absolutely correct. George won't have anything to do with the series writing, at least not this season. He usually writes an episode, but he busy. He busy dude. And thinking about the series ending before the books, I was a little upset about it when I first had to come around to the concept of the series ending before the books, but I've had enough time to come to terms with it. And honestly, it doesn't really bother me because it's like The Walking Dead in the comics. They're such different things at this point that I won't really feel spoiled if something happens in the comics that's new, because for all I know, it's not going to happen in the books, or maybe it'll happen in a different way in the books, or maybe it'll happen in the same way, but it'll just mean something different. They've done that a number of times in the show up to this point, so I'm fine with them each being their own individual thing. I'm going to love them both to bits. And I'm pretty happy with all of it. The other part to your question was, can you come to the UK so we can be best friends, talk about tea and peppers and cats and vegetarian foods? If I'm ever in the UK, I let you know. I would love to visit the UK. I've never been to Europe. I've never left my continent. I am a sheltered person. And yeah, I think that's it. I did those. Oh, no, one more. Patrick wanted to know, do you feel let down with the pet battle trainers in WoD? Do you feel that there's not enough pet battle stuff to do? So it's a little light when you compare it to Mists of Pandaria, but the thing to remember is that last expansion, they introduced pet battles, so nobody had, like, a really good collection. Nobody had any pets leveled up yet. Nobody really knew what the pet battling meta was going to be, so during Mists of Pandaria, they had in the first patch, it was basically just all of the world trainers while you leveled up your collection, and then the Pandaria basic trainers, and then they added the Beasts of Fable and the Pandaren Elemental Spirits and the Celestial Tournament all in later patches. So I think right now, in the beginning of Warlords, we have about an equal amount of pet battle content as we did in the first patch of MoP. It seems like a lot less because they haven't just brought in pet battles, and everybody's mostly caught up their collections at this point. So, not everybody, but a lot of people have caught up their collections at this point, so there's less to do because you don't have as much bulk work of just like leveling and collecting pets that you don't have. So it's true that it doesn't feel like there's a lot of content, but we're also only in the second patch of Warlords, so they're adding a number of new pets and also new encounters in 6.2. We're getting new legendary encounters, like I talked about earlier in the vlog, into Nan Jungle, so I'm hoping that that'll kind of sustain us and bring us over. I do think there should be more pet battle incentives. They haven't added any more pet meta achievements lately, like for collecting X number of pets. I think they should add a couple of pets for winning X number of PvP pet battles. And I think they could definitely work harder in adding in more pet battle achievements. But for now, I think it's okay. There's enough pet battle stuff for me. But I'm also trying to work on 100%ing my pet collection in terms of rarity and level and pets collected, and I am not there yet, so I still got stuff to do. So that has been my week. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions you would like answered on a Saturday vlog, just leave them as a comment on the most recent vlog, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye!